Ladies and gentlemen, we just got done witnessing a great Thursday night football game. America was on the edge of their seat.
Oh, yeah, constantly.
Simple mathematics, trying to figure out how this game could possibly end in a final score of 28-3. There had to be some field goals, maybe a Josh Rosen pick six. Oh my God, we got so close, but no way a team's going to settle. I'm the kicker whisperer. No way a team's going to settle for a field goal at the end. Like that's trailing. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe if they get stacked, it was possible. And we're at the edge of our seats waiting. It was a very exciting game, but we did not get a 28-3. What was today's solar eclipse? Something, one of these solar moon things that lasted 3 minutes and 28 seconds today. And so that was a fact. Yeah, this is true. It's not. Yeah. And the Falcons Patriots playing, and the final score 25-0.
28 minus 3.
We were so close. We just needed Younghoe Koo to. If Younghoe Koo made that field goal, we'd have been so close. We were so close. This would have been the ultimate scoregami. That's right. I think there's an I at the end of that. Scoregami. I don't know. We don't know what it is. But anyway, guys, today we're reviewing some Antonio Brown memes. We're talking very briefly NFTs. We don't know too much about it, but I do have a very passionate thing about NFTs. Like I said, I don't know too much about them, but I am passionate. It's okay. You can be passionate about something you don't know too much about. People are passionate about, getting a Lamborghini or something. I don't know. Hey, what are you going to do with that? Nothing. You're not going to do anything with that. And we're also talking about 2022 Dynasty. We're going to be looking at the 2022 running back class. So Sue Shane is here with us, and he's prepared a segment. We're talking about the running back draft class. And last time you came on, you scared everyone away. The podcast almost did not survive. You did well yourself, especially in the situation. I think you did extremely well. I'm being honest.
Appreciate it.
And but you killed the podcast because it just wasn't for us. But it's your first time. You didn't know that. And we're gonna be doing a lot more content. We're gonna be, the captains and we're gonna be working on the NFL draft. We're gonna be talking about the rookie draft class. We're gonna probably come out with that draft guide PDF, come out with it for free. A little bit of that. Mike and I are talking about coming out with NFTs. So we'll talk about that. So right now, what we're seeing on the screen for you video viewers, this is an NFT I made. I didn't know what I was doing. This is how I always am. I don't just dip my foot in the pool to see how warm it is. I'm not a scaredy cat. I just dive in, and it's okay. A lot of people are afraid, of what people say. When I came out with this, people didn't say a lot, but I got the vibe like, this is stupid. What are you doing this? Like, shut up and talk about football. I got that. And it was fine because I knew it was ahead of its time a little bit. And my peoples didn't get it. Now NFTs are blowing up like 100 times more. And now it's a cool thing. And that's how my whole life has been. And so I didn't know what I was doing. I made an NFT. It was sold to someone in Couch Fam who just makes a ton of money on NFTs, and he bought it. And
should have bought it. I should have bought it.
Yeah, it was super cheap. Yeah. It sold for 0.04 ETH, which is basically nothing at the time. $140. Now, I don't know how much that is. I'm guessing $250 now. It's basically nothing. But I made one. It's sold, and I think this is the future. Like, just think about this. Like, so I don't quite grasp it. I get some of the ideas, but think about this, guys. You're in a dynasty league, right? You draft players, and essentially you have that player rostered for life, right? In a sense, right? Does that make sense? Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. You draft him for life, essentially. I mean, of course, you could trade him the next day or whatever, but that's not the point. I mean, you can trade an NFT too. You can give ownership to NFT someone else. So how about it? Instead of drafting players per se on just the digital screen, you get an NFT, and then you can give that player away. I don't know. There's just so many uses of an NFT that We don't know what's going to happen. You get an NFT, could be a ticket. So a lot of people are doing it as music tickets to see a concert. There's just so many things that I feel like the fantasy football world is going to use NFTs, and it's going to be so much cooler. A lot of people are probably shutting this down right now, but it was the same exact thing when we played fantasy football on a newspaper. Then the internet came out, be like, oh, internet's stupid. That's for nerds. Computers are for nerds, this and that. Like, this is dumb. Oh, like when the same thing when a first check came out, people are like, what is this? Give me cash money. When a credit card came out, I'm not using that. And now nobody has any cash on them. Everything's already digital. And so, look, maybe I'm wrong, but I just wanted people to think about this. Like, there's a digital world. I mean, literally everything in fantasy football is digital. Like, we don't have anything written down or anything tangible in our hands anyway. Maybe we put it on the blockchain. So that's just a cool thing. Enough. I didn't even want to get into all that, but it's just a cool thing to think about.
NFTs are the future. If you don't know, now you know.
Yeah, it's already
going to
here.
happen. We're in the metaverse.
Antonio Brown's ex-chef came out and said that he attained fake vaccination card documentation, and that's what he showed the Bucks, essentially saying, hey, I'm vaxxed, look at this. And it's a weird story, and the Buccaneers came out with a statement saying that, look, we do our due diligence, everything that we seen was good. Essentially, like, hey, Antonio Brown's playing, shut up. That's what the Bucs said. And whatever. Everyone's smart. Everyone can come up with their own opinions. That's fine, But we're just gonna look at memes. So we have a few memes. Meme Wars is going on in the Fantasy Couch Discord, and this meme is pretty good. What would you guys rate? Let's do letter grades. What do we rate this meme? And then I'll describe it.
I mean, this is definitely in between an A, B for me. I mean, I like the.
I see what you did there. A, B.
The McLovin.
Between A and B.
No pun intended. I guess pun intended, right? They got the McLovin reference in there. You love to see it. Fake
it's
ID,
a classic.
fake vax. I love it. It's good.
Yeah.
Letter grade.
A or B?
No, Mike.
I'll give it a B. Solid B.
I give it a B as well. So here we have a McLovin meme. We have Antonio Brown sweating while he's showing his identification credentials, and it's this very fake Hawaii ID. I mean, it's actually a picture of him, but it's a ridiculous bleach mustache picture, so it looks fake. And it's pretty good. I give this a solid B, not a B minus, not a B plus, but and it's it's one of the best movies ever. It's definitely one of those foundation movies, super bad. Facts. So everyone knows it's you get one of those comedies every decade. I'd say it's better than American Pie, that movie. Say Fast Times at Ridgemont High was the first American Pie. So that's true. That gets trumped by Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And it's another one of those movies where everyone in it became a huge star.
We just lost all the 20 and under crowd. Good job.
Hey. Hey, go back and watch that movie. You can watch movies before you were born. Yeah, I mean, that's a great movie. I mean, come on.
They're like, what's a Fast and Furious? Antonio Brown chef.
Yeah, this was just wild.
This one's good.
Chef got involved, his girlfriend and everything. Oh man.
Yeah, this one says Antonio Brown's chef. Oh, we didn't even. Did we read this one? What did the first one say? Antonio Brown showing the NFL his Vax card. Okay.
Yeah, we did.
The second one says Antonio Brown's chef after he didn't get paid, and it's Tekashi 6ix9ine explaining several things to the judge, just listing off certain elements, giving him lots of details on what's going on.
Just looking ridiculous in a suit. Just
you're right.
Doesn't add up.
What do we grade this one? What letter grade?
I'm gonna say a C.
C.
Yeah, I also like the other one a little better, I would think. Maybe like a B minus. Still pretty good.
I'm agreeing with Mike. It's crazy. I straight C for me as well.
Yeah, C.
It's okay. It's worth seeing, and then I want to scroll. So C for me.
Definitely.
I think it makes you like giggle a little bit.
It's cool. It's cool. best one for
This one's gonna be good. I feel like this one's gonna be good.
This is great. I love this.
God.
This was special requested by me. So we have Antonio Brown about to pass some kind of the paper in his hand to authority, which is the NFL, and the commissioner villain Roger Goodell's looking like, hey, what's going on here? And he says, Antonio Brown says, check my vaccination card. The guy opens it up, and it's just like written in crayon. It's just a piece of folded paper. It says, I am vaccinated.
What movie is this from? I don't even know the reference.
My guess is that Adam Sandler Grown Ups. That's just a guess.
That's
Grown Ups.
We need someone to chime in here.
Someone in the live stream, let us know. Grown Ups meme. That's just my guess because I don't. That's probably not it. I think I might be wrong.
I think you're wrong.
I don't know what movie that's from.
Oh, bench warmers. They're saying
bench warmers.
Okay.
That makes a lot of sense.
Bench
warmers. Never seen it. Yep, that's it. It's bench warmers. Yes, the guy says I'm 12, and here's my birth certificate.
Oh, okay. I never seen that.
It's all crayons. Yes.
Cool. I'm glad we solved that.
So grade this meme.
I mean, this is the first time I'm seeing this one. I've seen the other two before floating around, but this one's pretty good actually. I like this one a lot. I'm thinking if the first one I gave like an A or a B, I'm thinking this one's for sure in the A range. I love this one. This is funny.
I'm still going B. It doesn't hit me yet, like where it's like I have to give it an A. So I'm gonna give it a B.
I love this one. I'm giving it a grade A. I specially requested it, and then Roger Goodell's face.
That's funny.
Yeah, it really makes it. It's almost an A+ for me.
I need to see the scene like from the actual movie first before I can give it.
If you Google bench warmers meme, you'll see it. The guy's trying to say he's 12. I guess they're playing against a little league team. He's like, I'm 12 or something.
I got you.
I don't know, but it's
have
not
you seen
even,
have you seen the picture of Flava Flav? Like he's like a year sober, and it shows him like before, and then now he looks like Antonio Brown.
Yeah, he's Antonio. He turned a sober Flav turned into Antonio Brown.
That was pretty funny.
That's
not even a meme. That's just like it looks real. It's just funny.
Yeah,
people were clowning that on Twitter though.
I thought it was photoshopped. I'm not gonna lie. All right, guys, this podcast is sponsored by Monkey Knife Fight. Right after this, we're going to be talking about Dynasty. So if you have any Dynasty related questions, ask them while we're talking. Otherwise, just save the questions for the end. Monkey Knife Fight, stupid, simple way to play daily fantasy sports player prop games. Is this player going to be good this week? Is this player going to be bad this week? That's essentially what this is. It's a really easy site. So all you're going to do is go on there and make your picks. Drew. So Drew's not with us. He had an emergency. I really wanted him on this show. Him and Sushane helped prepare the Dynasty segment we got. But he played for the first time. Swear, this is his picks. He is the one who put this graphic up, screenshot on it off his computer. He just, listen to me. I was like, look, Jonathan Taylor has a 51% chance to score more than one touchdown. I like that game. And then I told him Dalvin and Eckler for the touchdown dance. He picked both those guys, and very first time he played, he won both the picks he made. So, congratulations to Debbie
Drew. Attaboy.
It's easy to play. So my picks this week is I got two for you guys. So the first one I got is a touchdown dance, Vikings and Packers. This one makes so much sense. Like I feel like this is the easiest thing right here. I'm going with Dalvin Cook, AJ Dillon, and Devontae Adams. I feel like between those three guys, we're going to see at least a couple touchdowns. Dalvin Cook, 80% chance to get in the end zone and at least once. AJ Dillon, a 70% chance to get in the end zone at least once. Devontae Adams, we got about a 78% chance, I think, to get up in the end zone at least once. So I think this is great. I think it's going to work out. I absolutely love those for the touchdown dance. If you want to go a little bit more risque, I'm going more on the more or less for the Chiefs and Cowboys game. I think both these quarterbacks will throw over 310 yards. So I'm going more than 299.5 for Mahomes, more than 298.5 for Dak on the passing yards. But here's a tip. Here's one tip on Monkey Knife Fight. If you're doing the more or less, wait till game day. So for me, it's Saturday night already. It already updates. Wait for it to pay out 3.6x. That's a special game day advantage. So then when we put in $10, we'll get $36 instead of $30. Don't tell anybody I told you that. Just a little secret. Hopefully the lines do change though sometimes. So hopefully they don't go much higher. And we'll be able to lock those in. Maybe they go lower, but we're going more for that. Anyways, guys, hop on to Monkey Knife Fight. Just follow the link below in the description. This link right here. Use promo code Couch. You're going to get free $5. So you can do what Drew did. He played one of those picks he did was for free. One of those entries, $5 for free. And you get 100% deposit match up to $100. Follow the link. Use promo code Couch. Thank you guys so much. Shout out to Monkey Knife Fight. All right. We'll let Sushane take over.
All right. Sounds good. So we're going to be talking about rookie drafts, basically the 2022 rookie draft. It's going to happen in April. But if you're in a Dynasty league or if you're in a Devy league, probably would be useful for you to start jotting some notes down, having a general sense of an idea of what's going to be available for you, right? So the two formats that we're talking about, right? Dynasty and Devy, what are those? Well, Dynasty is basically same thing as your regular fantasy football league. Only difference is after the playoffs and after your fantasy Super Bowl, you go through an offseason and you draft a totally new team. In Dynasty, you actually retain the same team. And what you do in the following year is you draft from the incoming rookie pool. A Devy league is just one step beyond that, where you also are drafting players in college, right? So the first thing you got to know when you're looking at these,
how's a Devy startup league? In a Devy startup, do you draft freshmen in college?
Yeah, so in a Devy startup, you draft freshmen, sophomores, and juniors in college.
So the Devy startup is
intense,
just out of it's the most intense draft, I imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it's intense in one way where there's more players, there's more names, right? But then there's also, you have to figure out how those names kind of compare to someone like DK Metcalf right now or AJ Dillon.
Or a draft pick, right? Because then you're doing the draft picks and a lot of trading as well on draft day.
Oh yeah.
Do you know if this is more of do a lot of people do this a slow draft or like do you because I know this is a niche within a niche within a niche, so it's like a sub category. There's not a lot of data out there. Like what are people doing? Is this a 40 round live draft? Is this a 30 round slow draft? Like what is like, how does this look like? Let me visualize.
Typically it is a slow draft just because it's Dynasty. You want to, as you're on the clock, have the flexibility of making trades and whatnot, because this is, again, I mean, I think you mentioned this earlier, right? When you're doing a Dynasty league, that's like when, okay, you got to really make sure that the guys that you are in a league with are going to stay for quite a while. But then if you go to a Devy league, now you're like sharing blood with each other. You're doing rituals and stuff. I think you guys mentioned.
Oh yeah, the blood. I forgot I did say
it's
that.
It's like another step into the,
Yeah, that's right. Dynasty's a marriage. Devy is a blood cult.
That's what it is. Marriage versus a blood calling, right? Yeah. So for that reason, we do have still, at least mostly, there could be some quicker drafts, like 8 minutes or 1 minute clock, or whatever. But usually it's your typical 8 hours, 4 hours, and then 40 rounds. So it could be pretty exhausting.
What? It'd take a month?
Yeah, it could take a couple weeks. I think hours that we had with a lot of couch captains, I think it took like maybe 3-4 weeks just to
wow. Come out and those guys are there overall. They were on it, right? They were.
Yeah, everyone was on it too. We're not lagging or waiting on anyone. It's like 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks in that range.
A slow draft usually takes 2 weeks. That's why. Yeah. So I mean, but there's twice as many picks and what I'm talking about is like there's no trade. There's not really a lot of trades in the type of drafts I'm talking about. So with a lot of trades and twice as long.
Is someone making rankings for these players? Like someone's out there making Devy rankings for
there's
high
rankings
school
out
players?
There. They go by class, right? But then once you have kind of a good idea of how things work and how recruiting works, then you can kind of compare classes between classes and then classes compared to the players that are playing in right now. So that brings. Go ahead.
Someone in the comments he said like my Debbie strategy would be to just draft Alabama all the time. So wouldn't everyone just try to do something similar? Like
first you gotta know do you recognize this guy? This is Dak. You gotta
yeah.
He's a different type. This guy's a natural winner, and but he's definitely he's different, right? He marches to his own tune. So
but that makes sense. Like I would try to do that strategy. Like, but
obviously these Alabama players get drafted earlier and they're more popular too. I mean, in the real NFL draft,
they're going to be home run hitters, right?
So you have to pay a higher price for them, is what I'm trying to say as well. This is not a secret that Alabama is good players.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, so those players are obviously sought after, right? Like the top.
Yeah, your Ohio States, Oklahomas,
right. Just like in Dynasty, just like in regular Dynasty. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So there's like blue blood teams that everyone wants to pick talent from, most likely.
Exactly. Right. There's the blue blood teams, but the main thing that you want to do for what you guys are doing with fantasy drafts, right? You want to make sure that before you go into a class that you're looking at the actual players, not just the schools they're coming from as a whole, right? Because every year you're going to get 3 or 4 guys from Ohio State, a couple of guys from Oklahoma, some Alabamas, and then some USCs and some Georgias. You're going to get all of these good schools, players coming in, but you need to make sure that because rookie hype is going to exist, right? It's going to eventually come through. You need to make sure that you understand how good the class is as a whole, and then kind of stick to your guns and stick to that evaluation and don't fall or buy into this hype. So that brings me into the 2022 rookie running back class, right? So as of right now, and this is a pretty good point to release a list, if you will, because there's not going to be a whole lot of changes moving forward. There might be 1 or 2 here or there, but that's really about it. Right now you have a generally overall kind of weak class. It's not the strongest, right? The first tier of running backs, they're not as good as what you have in the past. Najee Harris, for example, RB1. Jonathan Taylor a couple of years back, another very good RB1. These guys have maybe the upside to be an RB2 or an RB1. Right,
in the NFL or in college?
In just fantasy football. Speaking fantasy football now for you.
Gotcha.
Right. So the first name we can look at would be Isaiah Spiller from Texas A&M. He's probably, like you alluded to, do people make lists or rankings of Devy guys? They do. And Isaiah Spiller, if you're looking at the 2022 running back class, he's probably going to be the top name there, right? So he's a 4-star guy. Just because he's a 4-star doesn't mean it's good or bad, right?
Dak had a comment to derail this, but it was so silly.
Right.
Yo, Mike, it's Dak, man. Put your blue NFT gloves on. That line kills me.
That line is
great.
Right
great,
there.
yeah. And bring back the cheetah bedspread. Come on, man. I'm your biggest fan. Hello.
Oh my goodness. Love it.
I will.
Love it. Yeah, but like I was saying, so the 4 stars, it means some, doesn't mean a whole lot. Just for example, right? So it's out of 5. 5 stars is the best. 1 star, we don't see them a ton. They're the worst. But just to give you a perspective, right? So Najee Harris was a 5-star, and then Jonathan Taylor was only a 3-star. So take the star rating with a little bit of a grain of salt here, right? But what makes Isaiah Spiller most people's consensus RB1 of 2022 would be the skill set that he has, right? So first of all, he's an all-purpose back. So he can run the ball and he can catch, good for PPR. But also his most unique trait is probably his willingness to be a blocker. He still needs some work as a pass blocker, but the fact that he's willing means that he has a very good chance of staying on the field for all 3 downs, being a 3-down back.
Sounds like Keyshawn Vaughn.
Maybe, but I think this guy's a little more talented.
It's like an inside joke for us. We drafted Keyshawn Vaughn. He's like, look, he's gonna get the job because he can pass pro. But
yeah,
he sucked.
So it's not that he can pass pro. He's not as great as pass protection per se, but we think that because he's willing, he'll get that role. But hey, that's a good comparison. Keyshawn Vaughn, that's very fair because we thought the same thing about him. And well, not so good.
Can we show some like footage of him playing or no? Is that like
no,
not?
I can't bring that.
We could maybe.
We're not that. Yeah,
we're not that sophisticated yet.
We have some pictures though.
It's like you Google it on your own.
We have pictures. Sushane will tell me when to bring the
pictures. You can go. Though. You can go on to the next picture. Actually,
here we go. There we go.
Yeah. Okay. You should do a player comp for each, like a current player, like who he plays like, or he's similar
player
to.
comp. Okay, I can.
You know what I mean?
It's the only way me and Mike can understand.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, no, I feel you. Well, as you can see from the production, right, he's getting good passing totals, almost 200 yards rushing, and pretty good 5.7 yards per carry. I mean, in college, you should understand that it's easier to run the ball, but 5.7 is still pretty impressive. And then also, of the 10 games he's played, 7 out of those 10, he's got 100 yards worth. So he is pretty good, a pretty good versatile option for an offense, right? In terms of where you're going to be drafting him, I mean, again, because running backs are so valuable in fantasy, he's probably going to be near the top, if not the top running back taken on your board. Maybe he could fall to like a middle of the round pick, but that's about it, right? That's about it. In terms of a player comp,
you can do 2. Sometimes I do 2.
Yeah.
Is he like CJ Spiller?
No, he's not like CJ Spiller.
Okay. So
CJ Spiller did recruit him or the next guy we'd be talking about, actually, which is something of note, I guess. But
I thought Eckler was going to be like CJ Spiller. I was wrong.
Eckler might be a decent comparison.
But this guy's 6'1", though.
My comparison for Eckler to Spiller seemed smart, but he's not. I mean, he's just not. He's good. Eckler's just better. Yeah, he's more.
I think Eckler's like a taller Darren Sproles. That's who I see.
He's just like Darren Sproles, but way doper. Yeah,
bigger and
killer. Yeah, way bigger. Yeah, way bigger. That's another thing we like.
He's way more athletic too. He's just. When you watch those workout videos and training camp videos, I mean, he's just a dog. Like he's great. He's a lot quicker than Darren Sproles.
But if Darren Sproles was like normal size, like he would be like Eckler. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He could have been.
I think Darren Sproles 5'6".
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So no comps. 0 comps for this.
This guy's a 1 of 1.
I thought we could put you on the spot and just and you'd have some comps ready here. What are no comps off the top of your head? Right? No comps to Isaiah Spiller.
Well, I was thinking maybe right? like you guys were saying, Eckler. I think it's a good one actually.
Oh, Eckler.
Eckler is, yeah, I think so because you're going to see a lot of passing. He's going to be using the passing game a lot, I think, and that's kind of what Eckler is. Good pass catching back. You brought up the size with Spiller. That's one of the pluses on his resume, right? We like the size, 6'1", 215, which is good. And that brings me up to the next guy, actually. Slightly bigger.
Now, Eckler, the one word I use to describe him is mismatch. And, that is kind of a general word. I call him a queen on the chess board, right? Because he can really do it all.
Versatile piece.
Yeah. And so is Isaiah Spiller a mismatch, though, with that?
I don't think he's as good as Eckler, but in terms of just the style of play, very similar. I think that's pretty good.
Drew said Mixon. That seems
Mixon's more powered, though. I don't know Isaiah Spiller.
Mixon, I think, Let's go to the next guy, who's a little bit bigger, and he's also more of a power runner. I think
this guy looks like a Mixon right here. Yeah, this guy looks like a Mixon.
Hey, he does look just like Mixon.
Yeah.
Right. So again, the last guy you brought up, 6'1", 215. This guy is a little bit bulkier, same height, 6'1", 220, and very different running style. This guy is a between the tackles guy, but again, still is able to produce in the passing game. So Joe Mixon here, I think that's a great comparison.
Yeah, this is Joe Mixon right here.
Yeah,
same number.
Not Jonathan Taylor.
Not Jonathan.
No.
Joe Mixon.
Joe Mixon's
really good pass catcher as a prospect and all that.
Yeah, he has a little bit of in terms of his running style, right? He is definitely a power back type of guy, but he does have a little bit of Le'Veon Bell type of like that patient he'll kind of wait for things to develop and then hit the hole. So he has a little bit of that. It's not completely exaggerated. But again, if Isaiah Spiller is not the first running back taken in your 2022 rookie draft, Breece Hall would probably be that guy.
Now, what's been crazy, bro, is that even though I'm not gonna say like I killed it with this Trey Sermon and Eli Mitchell, and I mean a lot of it was from you talking to you. So we talked about Eli Mitchell, but I was pretty. I mean, there was something. I'm not gonna say I nailed it, but like there was something with my advice and my videos about Trey Sermon and Eli Mitchell. I expressed a lot of concern about Trey Sermon.
Yeah,
I didn't hate him because I just thought he'd be the RB1, like a lot of people did if Mostert went down.
Mm-hmm.
But I did express concern with Trey Sermon. I was a little bit lower on him. And of course, you and I absolutely loved Eli Mitchell. And so even though we could say we got this right, maybe not, we didn't score 100 out of 100, at least I didn't, it was my content, but I didn't nail it. But, even though I got it right, Trey Sermon has me reevaluating everything.
What do you think's up with that? Like, why do you think Shanahan doesn't play him at all?
Well, I know now. No, I know now. I'm just going back in time and saying, like, as a prospect, what can we learn from this? So now I know why. So now we see a guy who's slow.
That's true.
We see a guy who's a scaredy cat. And, when I said the word scaredy cat twice on this podcast, I mean another word that's way more harsh, but he's really scared. He's terrified. He pee-pees his pants. Like, he does not hit the hole hard. He's not a willing runner. He's hesitant. And so when you say patient, you got to see that. Like, is he patient, which is a great quality, by the way, or is he a scaredy cat? Trey Sermon is a slow, scaredy cat. I mean, we're seeing like Trey Sermon looks like a worse Trent Richardson. He looks like a Trent Richardson who can bench presses less.
Why did they draft him then? Like, well, I mean, they obviously
the college film I didn't like, but it didn't look that bad to me. I was like, this guy can do it all. He's solid.
Well, I was like, college film came mostly from the college football playoff, which to me that was alarming. I'm not trying to say that. Oh, I knew this.
His last year, right?
Yeah.
Here's my thing, bro. I thought so what's the first school he went to?
He went to
Sooners, Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
So, I liked him more on that school, but everyone was telling me he's so much better in the new school. So I guess that was coming from just the playoffs because I didn't see that at all. I liked him better when he was younger on as a Sooner. And was he playing with Baker Mayfield? I'm not sure, but the same team, the same school as Baker Mayfield. And,
I think so.
I mean, that was me, and I don't know. So I had a lot of hesitations with him, but he didn't look that bad. But now we know why Trey Sermon sucks. Like I said, he's slow. He's really scared, and he's really hesitant. So, that's one thing that I don't know how to determine for sure, but you got to ask yourself this. I'm about to ask you right now. Is this guy patient or is he hesitant and scared? Because that's how you want to avoid the next Trey Sermon. That's the lesson I'm learning, and we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. So you're saying he's not? He's because you're saying he's a power back. He hits
patient to me, right?
Okay. Yeah, that's
great.
Thing
about Sermon, though, I feel just gonna throw this one out there. I feel like because we got so enamored by his production in the college football playoff, and also because Ohio State, he was the best. He was the best running back there in a room with pretty bad running backs. Like I think Master Teague or someone was their other guy. So the production was really, for me, it was a red flag, in my opinion, at least. Obviously, the two guys I've mentioned hasn't been any red flags in terms of production. It's been great. But if you go to the next guy, our third guy in tier 1.
Let's comment. Read that really quick.
Isaiah Spiller is similar to Ezekiel Elliott, in my opinion.
Do you agree?
I think Ezekiel Elliott is a little bit more of a violent runner than Spiller would be. I can see because Zeke gets a good amount of receptions, yeah.
No, not in his first year, but he didn't. Zeke did in college, did not his rookie year, probably not his second year, and now Zeke is a pretty good pass catcher in the NFL.
Yeah, I just feel like Spiller's usage from the jump is going to be a mix of both in the running game and the passing game. I mean, he's just too useful of an asset in the passing game to not use him.
Is he better than Michael Carter?
Yes, 100%.
Okay,
yes,
that's saying a lot. That's saying a lot to me because Michael Carter, I had doubts upon at first, but now I'm a believer.
Yeah, I told you guys about him.
Yeah, it took a while for me to come around.
Yeah, it took a while.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird how I got 100 out of 100 on that because I'm like, look, he's not going to get a ton of carries. I can tell you that right now. So,
if he was on literally any other team, I think he would be like a stud, like a star. But he's on the worst.
That's
team.
fantasy football for you, though. It's we see DeAndre Swift and Michael Carter. Like, if they're checking down to him in garbage time, that's even more fantasy points.
That's right.
True. 5 receptions and 50 yards in garbage time. That's 10 points. Like, that's 10 points added on to what he already did. So that's huge.
I will take those 10 points all day.
Yeah, and that's another 10 points. He's probably already got 4, 5, 6, 7 points. So, yeah, now he's got 17. Dak says, Nacho, I am proud to say I drafted Eli Mitchell in Dynasty this year. I had no clue who he was.
Nice.
Just a guy in the 49ers backfield. I'm so happy. Ha, 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 ha. Trade you for a 2022 first-round pick?
Maybe. I'll think about it. If it's late, I'll think about it.
Wait, I have a question, Sushane. So I recently did this trade in Empire League. So I traded Amar, my 2022 second, which is probably going to be an early second since it's Drew's second. But I got Ramondre Stevenson. Was that good or was that bad?
So you traded an early 2022 second, 12 team, right?
Yeah.
I think
for
it's
Ramondre Stevenson. Okay, that's all. That's all I wanted. Fair.
How do you value that 2022 mid first round?
I know we want to just focus on running backs, right? But 2022 early second, you're gonna get.
Wait.
Person be better than Ramondre.
Wait. He said early second. Does that mean Drew's team sucks?
Yes.
Oh, he does.
Yes.
Okay, so it is an early. Well, man,
it's like a mid to early.
Mid to early, okay.
Yeah,
but
that's
most
the same
likely,
tier of players.
Yeah, it's the
same.
With you. So that's my question. Like, is the guy that could be there better or worse than Ramondre? You're saying probably not as good.
Ramondre has a lot of upside.
You're gonna get a guy.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
Rondale
that's
Moore
why I did it
in round 2 early mid.
Yeah, I'd rather have Ramondre like any day over Rondale.
There you go. Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
And Damian Harris, he's gonna be there, and then he's probably not. He's probably going to leave.
If anything happens to Damian Harris, though, Ramondre is going.
Ramondre looks great. That's the type of running back I like. Like
me too. That's why I was like, I have to do that. I think because it's more of a sure thing than whatever. I'd have to wait, and then I don't even know. And I know Ramondre is
this close to being labeled as a good pass catching back. I could just feel it. Yeah,
I think he's just a great all around back.
Yeah. Oh, he's a power back. If you had to say it, but he could. Also, just like Todd Gurley and Zeke, like he has the ability to eventually catch a lot of passes. And, once there's no James White, no Damian Harris, I mean, that's another thing though. It might get replaced. Belichick might get another running back later, but
overall, it was a good pick. You think it was a good trade?
Yeah, I think so. And also mentioning Ramondre and seeing how you guys like him a little bit and some of the points you brought up. We actually will be talking about one running back on this list in a little bit.
We got a comment here.
In my opinion, very similar to Ramondre.
Smooth says Breece Hall comp is Lev Bell.
Lev Bell or new Lev Bell?
I could see it with the patience, just because at the line of scrimmage he waits a little bit. Yeah, I'm not gonna call this guy the next Le'Veon Bell. Right?
We're comparing all these guys to like Pro Bowlers. Yeah, these guys are already Pro Bowlers. Like,
right,
which is fine. This is just to help us
visualize the guy.
Yeah, that's all it is. Like, we had a guest, Vach Lombardi, who's a great entertainer. But I mean, when it comes to fantasy, he's raw at everything. Let's just be real. You know,
hey guys, I gotta drop out, but just handle it. Great pod.
We got it from now. Glad to have you back, Mike.
Baby. Later, everybody. See you next week.
Definitely. See you, Mike.
Vach, I love you. I just want to say you're great. That's why we have you on the show. Your channel's awesome. But what we talk? Oh yeah, Vach hates pro comparisons. I love them because it's a tool, right? You just got to use it the right tool. Cool. I'm not gonna think this guy's gonna be Lev Bell. Like, you know what I mean? I just want to visualize it, right? So I can understand. I like to cram stuff, you know, we'll do a little 20-minute set, little, you know, bits and pieces. I like to sample. What's the, you know, what's the tapas, right? You get a little plate, you know, it's a little, you know, get another plate. That's what I like. I don't need, you know, I don't need a Fred Flintstone tomahawk steak all the time, which is great. Exactly. I love the steak, but I'm just again, it's just a visual. It's just an example.
Little appetizers, get a little taste.
I just need to know. I need to know what's up. And so, you know, if he's like Lev Bell or could be, you know, anywhere like Lev Bell, that's what I like. All right.
Well, the next guy, you definitely need to know about this one. If you're saying you need to know what's up, you need to know this guy's what's up right now. This guy, Kenneth Walker III, he's the Michigan State running back. First of all, he's got the size, 6'1", 210. He's got the production in such a way that it's not only single-handedly keeping his team in the playoff race. Like, think about it. You're not a big college football fan, for example, but you know Ohio State, Alabama, and Georgia are pretty good. But Michigan State, you're seeing play basketball usually. You don't see them play football at this high of a level. And the reason why they're ranked so high this year is solely because of this guy, Kenneth Walker III. I mean, this guy's got over 1,500 yards. I was talking about the other two guys. They're around 1,000 and 1,100. This guy is dusting them already in terms of just production. This year is becoming a breakout year for him, whereas the other two prospects mentioned earlier, they've had a couple of years before. And because
how's his O-line?
So good. What's up?
How's his O-line?
It's all right. It's not great. It's not horrible. It's all right. But
you always got to look at that. You got to look at that. Like Josh Adams had the best O-line. Is that his name? Josh Adams. He went on the Eagles, straight up runner. Yep. He was actually one of my deep sleepers. Yeah. So you got to look at that. You know, okay, that guy had the best O-line. You know, you see all his O-linemen get drafted.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you're looking at a guy like this, you know, you always want to look at the defenders, but really the O-line more so. Like, how is his O-line? Is his O-line the best? Because if you have the best O-line and you have speed, you're going to be able to do that. But if you don't have the best O-line, I think it's very impressive.
That's true. One thing to know about Kenneth Walker, though, is O-line aside, when he gets past his O-line and he's in space, this guy is a deadly one-cut runner. Deadly. Change of direction, probably not only the best change of direction guy in this class, but probably his most resounding trait is change of direction. I see that question from Rather Be Out Fishing. How does this RB class compare to last year? So these three guys we've talked about right now, these are your tier one. One of these three names is going to be the first running back taken off your board. So these guys are the best of what 2022 offers. It's not as good as last year. Last year we had Najee Harris, Travis Etienne, who's obviously got hurt, but we still expect big things from him, and Javonte Williams, who he's already put up a 100-yard game as not even the lead back there, right? So he's trending up too. So these guys aren't as good as maybe Najee Harris, but I think they could be around Javonte Williams plus level, right? And then going back one more year, so in 2020, you had a lot of running backs, Jonathan Taylor, Dobbins, Cam Akers. Jonathan Taylor is way better than these guys, in my opinion. So that's just how this compares.
I want to address this. So Fishing says Jonathan Taylor also had an amazing O-line in college, though. Now, again, this is just like I was saying, certain things are just tools. O-line is a factor, but also look at just I mean, if you just watch one game from Jonathan Taylor, we say wow, and then you look at his measurables and just the metrics, and you're like, oh my god, this is just amazing. He's got the size, he's got the speed. He's just good pro comp to him. I guess would have been like Nick Chubb, I guess. But runs a faster 40 time. I think.
Yeah. Oddly enough, my pro comp for Walker might be Jonathan Taylor, just because as a prospect, their trajectories and their kind of storylines of how they are presumably for Walker got to the NFL is very similar, right? So I talked to you about, 5 stars being very good recruits, 4 stars being, the next level. And then how Jonathan Taylor, we both know that, he's clearly the best running back in 2020. He was only a 3-star recruit. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. But it's certainly something where you say, oh, if he's a 3-star recruit, why am I even considering him as the first player that I take? And that's the same thing with Kenneth Walker. And when you look at these two guys, you see that, okay, in their last year, they absolutely just boomed. They completely went off production-wise, talent-wise, metrics, as you said, with Jonathan Taylor. Similar things with Kenneth Walker. He's got the size, 5'10", 210. That's good weight for a running back. That's what we want. So the metrics are there, and now this year the production has come in. So that's why I think Jonathan Taylor is pretty decent of a comparison. Yeah, Accidentally Champs saying JT is faster and bigger than all of these guys. What are we talking about? 100% that's the case.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. That's exactly what we're talking. We know Jay. So I just want to address this again. So Fishing said earlier, JT also had an amazing O-line in college. So it's like he's responding like if I said that's everything. No, it's just something we got to consider. I mean, there's also just another example. There's also another big part of this picture is draft capital. The draft hasn't happened. Obviously, we take draft capital into consideration.
Of course, yeah.
Like we take what happens on draft day into huge consideration. Like if the Niners didn't draft Trey Sermon, me and you would be making like 50 videos on Eli Mitchell. Like it would be so obvious.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But instead, I'm making hold on, guys. I have a deep rookie sleeper for you that, might not pan out, but his name is Eli Mitchell, could be the next James Robinson. And so there's a lot. You just want to consider a lot. Like one thing, I know we're talking about running backs. One thing I look at is if you're looking at a wide receiver prospect, if he got carries in college, it's a really good correlation of like, hey, we got to get this guy the ball. And I always wonder, why didn't Ayuk get a lot of carries? So I at least asked that question. I'm not trying to say anything from that, but I'm like, why is a guy who's that, he can return? He is a running back essentially too, like Debo and all. Why didn't he get a lot of carries? So you just want to ask that, because usually wide receivers that are really good, like really, really good in college, they usually get like 1 carry a game. Like they find a way, like, hey, we got to get this guy the ball. Let's give him a carry. Let's do a jet sweep. Let's do a short pass, a screen pass. And, I had to ask similar questions to DK Metcalf. I made a whole video at DK Metcalf. Yeah. I was like, look, he's very polarizing. There's just a bunch of crappy haters out there. And I was like, look, this quarterback in Ole Miss isn't throwing him a screen pass. And then, some people brought up like, man, that's not the strength. Like, that's not. I'm like, yeah, but you got to throw it every now and then. Like, how do you not? Like, you guys got to be really dumb to not throw a screen pass every now and then to a guy who's, like one of the fastest, biggest wide receivers ever to play the sport. And so you just got to take everything into consideration. So if I see a guy, I'm like, is this guy sucky? Like, is it just his O-line? It's just a question you got to ask. That's all. It's just a question.
It's a tool to use.
Hey, we may have been wrong about JT, but we weren't. He's pretty good. And you always gotta know. So that's just one thing we got to factor in. Does this guy have is it all his O-line? All right. Hey, maybe we should ask that question with Trey Sermon. Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe. Honestly, maybe. That's worth going back and doing a deep dive.
When he gets the ball and then it doesn't look perfect to him. I mean, he starts running backwards. So
Oh God.
Yeah,
See.
hey, it's just a question you gotta. And I'm not fishing. Of course, don't take this personally. I'm not picking on you or nothing. I just want to make it clear. I think this is a great topic that I want to make it super clear. There's never an answer. We're always going to be wrong on at least one guy. Like we're never going to always be right. But it's questions you got to ask. Why is the wide receiver not getting carries? Is it just his O line? Like, can he do this? Can he do that? Can he pass pro? We know coaches like that. Where did the draft capital? You got to consider this. You're also talking about the recruit. Is he a 5-star recruit, 3-star? I think that's a bunch of baloney, but I mean, it's at least something to note. It's at least you got to at least know.
Yeah, no, you should. It does matter. For some positions, it matters more than in others. But again, it just.
Well, does it matter more for the quarterback or?
Yeah, it matters for quarterback and wide receiver a ton.
Okay. See, I didn't even know that. I'm learning.
But again, I mean, it's just bottom line is it's just a tool. It's just one more piece of information that you can use to help you try to get this guy right. That's about it, right?
Walker is a transfer. He just needed that. He needed that to be a star in a good offense, and he exploded late.
Yeah, he did transfer. I'm not sure from where, but he did. No. I disagree with this comment.
The Giants, see, this is off the wall comment. The Giants need to go after Kenneth Walker to replace Saquon. This hurts my feeling. I take this as direct disrespect to me.
Yeah, I mean Saquon is ideal running back prospect.
Yeah,
but I know you brought up Ramondre Stevenson when Mike was here earlier. If we go to our next guy, well, I'm going to skip over one guy. Let's go to Zac Charbonnet because he's way more interesting right now. Kyren Williams, we'll get to him in a second. Zac Charbonnet is by far the most violent runner in this class. I think that's kind of what we saw with Ramondre Stevenson. He had a violent kind of power plus running style to him. So while Breece Hall is your power back between the tackles type of guy, Zac Charbonnet is going to be the violent, extreme power back type of prototype that an offense is going to get, right? What's the downside with him? The downside with him is if you're in PPR, he could be good. Maybe not so much. I don't know. Why don't I know? Because first 2 years, he only had, I think, 14 total receptions. So think about that, right? You play 10, 11, 12 games in a college football season. And in 2 of those seasons, you only get 14 total catches. Not a lot. But then this year, he's already up to 17 in total. So he's pretty much more than doubled. Or not more than doubled, but in the first 2 years, what he has, he's already surpassed that.
That's not bad for college.
That's not bad. That's what I'm saying. I'm not sure because, again, like you were saying earlier with the wide receivers and getting carries, if Zac Charbonnet in the college game is not getting much work as a passing down, why is that? It's not because of his blocking. He can block. Is it because of the actual skill set and the hands and whatever he brings?
It's usually the scheme. It's usually in college, but let's just hand it off. There's no need. There's no insane. There's no joke. We don't have to wear out Aaron Donald or Joey Bosa. Usually in college, unless he's dropping everything.
No, I don't.
Unless he can't catch. Unless it's obvious he can't catch.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is a good point, though, about the scheme, because in those first 2 years, he was playing for Michigan Wolverines, and this year he's at UCLA. So new team, new environment, different statistics in terms of passing, at least. But he might be, in terms of once you have your Najee Harris's and your Travis Etienne's gone, right? He might be Elijah Mitchell, he could be the guy, in my opinion. Zac Charbonnet. Very violent runner. Now, if you want to go more lean towards the PPR format, go with the other guy on the screen, Kyren Williams out of Notre Dame. This guy is the prototypical all-purpose back. He'll catch for you. He'll run for you in between the tackles, outside zone, inside. He'll be there in pass protection. He's pretty good. I like him. Only thing is that his draft stock has been slipping just a little bit, not due to him not performing well, but just more so that other running back, Kenneth Walker, has just been playing out of his mind. So that's basically your top 5 running backs there. And Walker transferred from Notre Dame. Good to know. So yeah, basically Kyren Williams and Zac Charbonnet, for that matter, going to be maybe like a late first round pick in your rookie draft in that range. Because again, you have those top 3 guys, they're going early to mid. You're going to have some receivers, of course, and then, people are going to like their quarterbacks. So that's basically the top 5 running backs in a nutshell for you.
So I just want to let you guys know, when it gets to higher stakes, PPR, tournaments, best ball, and dynasty on the higher stakes, people love wide receivers over running backs. Like it's not even close. Like it's so crazy. And I know, there's a lot of different narratives. Like I've told people, look, it's always running back. If it's a 2 wide receiver league, and everyone plays 3 wide receiver now. Wide receivers, of course, have a longer lifespan. I just want to let you guys know, for those that don't play high stakes, when you go to the big boy leagues, man, these guys they're going nuts over wide receivers, and they're going nuts over tight ends if it's tight end premium, and they're going really nuts over quarterbacks when it's super flex, because we know quarterbacks play till the 40. So,
yeah,
man, it's just I just want to make that clear, because there's a lot of dynasty content out there. And, we just talked about earlier, little kind of before we started, like how people just talk about the analytics and don't. I mean, like there's more. You have to sit back and look, like, how much is your buy-in? $5? Don't freaking talk to me, dude. What am I gonna do with the $5? Now, you guys, Debbie League is $10, right? And that's just because you're trying it out. Like you have this stuff matters. Like the buy-in matters. Like I need to, like, there's just, you can't compare a $10 league, because you guys are essentially experimenting and tweaking, which is fine. That's fine. I'm not making fun. It's fine. I just got to know what's up. It's a $10 Debbie league, though. It's different from $1,000 dynasty league. It's just not the same thing.
Absolutely.
So you
different
gotta know.
Level of competition. Everything is the way people draft, the way people think, totally different.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they're better either. I mean, it's very competitive, and they're smart, and they do their research. You're not gonna pull, you're not gonna get those. You're not gonna pull, what are the sheep's wolves clothing thing, whatever. Pull a blanket. I don't know. I don't know sayings. Right? I'm not good with sayings, but you're not gonna get any of these easy trades on these guys. And some of their strategies might be wrong, but I'm telling you, the trend. Okay, so this is the trend. They really like to draft wide receivers more when it's PPR. They really love to draft tight ends a lot when it's tight end premium, and they go just berserk for quarterbacks when it's super flex. So I just wanted to let them know, no, Jack, don't make fun of Sushane for being a $10 Debbie League. This is their first Debbie League. They're doing this to learn.
He's in the Debbie League. What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're in the Debbie League, dude.
Come on, bro.
$60 prize. Yeah, come on, bro.
What I will say, though, is given those trends that you just laid out, maybe of those top 3 backs, maybe one of them falls to you in the middle of the first round then, because there's a couple of wide receivers that are going to be taken with the love of wide receivers. And then, of course, like you mentioned, in super flex, the quarterback's going to get reached on. So maybe one of these running backs can fall to you. And if they do, let's say you're sitting in your draft like the 1.06 or 1.07 pick, and you get one of these 3 running backs, you're sitting in, it should be a pretty good draft for you.
So that's Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, or Isaiah Spiller.
Yep.
Okay.
If you go back one more top to the list there you go. Any of those early first round picks that I have for you, if you get them in the middle, great drafting.
Gotcha. Yeah, and I was talking to Smitty about my rookie draft coming up. I was like, look, I love Devontae Smith. I want him. I got the 6th overall pick. And he's like, man, he might fall. You never know. I was like, should I trade up? I'm ready to trade up. I was like, all right, I'll stay put. And he fell to the 6th pick. I mean, he was my favorite prospect in that range. So I was like, all right, I'll take him. Sixth, I was gonna maybe go Javonte Williams just to be safe and get my running. I was like, all right. I mean, Devontae Smith, let's go 6 overall, and he fell. So you never know. But it could go the other way. Like it could go like everyone goes wide receiver or quarterback. Like you never know. Dynasty is fun. It's crazy.
That's the best part about it, man. You have no idea what's gonna happen, and sometimes you can land a guy like Devonta Smith in the middle of round 1 and you're walking away celebrating.
Yeah, and then you can't answer this question, but if you can, Fishing says, where you think these top 3 backs end up? Like what NFL team, if you had to guess? I guess it's just a guess.
Instead of guessing which team, I can do a better job guessing where in the NFL draft they'll be taken, if that makes more sense. So like we had Najee Harris and Travis Etienne go, I think 24 and 25 overall. So late first round. I don't think you're going to see 2 of these backs go in the first round. So based on who's picking there, maybe someone like
is it dumb for them to go in any of these running backs to go in round 1? As a, I guess, NFL GM hat, put on your NFL GM hat. Is it dumb for any of these running backs to go in round 1? Because people were saying that last year, and I said, no, you guys are dumb. And I was like, look at Najee Harris.
You definitely want to. I think this
year. Look at Najee Harris, though. That was the perfect pick. And everyone's making fun of Urban Meyer. And I get like the stuff he does off the field. It is some loser funny stuff, like whatever. But I mean, people made fun of him. Oh, I was going to draft Kadarius Toney. And then he drafted Etienne. And like people really harsh on him. It's like, dude, he wouldn't have fixed the Jaguars with 1 draft pick. And Etienne got hurt. Like, it's just unlucky. And we saw Kadarius Toney. I mean, they could really use Kadarius Toney right now. It could really use Etienne right now. Like,
I think Urban Meyer being closer than most coaches right now to the college game, I think he knows what wide receivers are coming up and what other types of talent
really would have fit the team.
Yeah,
no, like it would have been a perfect fit. It would have really helped out Trevor Lawrence. So it's like the fans and the critics, they're gonna hate no matter what. Oh, now you're like, oh, you're ruining Trevor Lawrence. Like, look, I'm not even saying Urban Meyer's dope or anything. I'm just saying like, drafting Travis Etienne, I don't think was dumb. Not saying it was awesome either. Drafting Najee Harris, Steelers, that was good. I love it. Yeah, see, I'm all on board with that. Travis Etienne, I say that's whatever, like a C+ or something, whatever. That's okay. C, I think it's okay. Najee Harris, that was great. Trust me. I remember all you guys. What about the O-line? That was dumb. Why didn't you do that? Look at Najee Harris. He's amazing. He's one of the best running backs in the NFL already. Like, it's great. And when you talk about, workhorse level, I mean, he's like number 1. There's like, that's all. Like, he's a rookie. He's barely even played. And when you look up workhorse in the dictionary, you're seeing Najee Harris, baby. Yeah, you're definitely not seeing Zeke. You're definitely not seeing Todd Gurley. You're definitely not seeing Saquon. I mean, I don't know. When you turn to the CMAC page, I don't know. The book falls and flips. I don't know. It's not really, you can't really see that. But you're definitely seeing Najee Harris, who's getting like 99% of the snaps.
Oh, yeah. But I guess just to answer your question, just to give you a final answer, maybe
But see, here's the thing. The Jags didn't need RB, though. I will forever hate the pick. I mean, did the Falcons need a tight end? Kyle Pitts is a wide receiver. That's why Etienne is a weapon. That's what I'm saying. Etienne would have helped. He wouldn't have used Etienne like
exclusively as an H-back. Yeah,
just all right. You're just gonna run up the gut. Like, he would have been used as a receiver. He would have been like Eckler. Like something like that. Like he would have been used like that. And James Robinson. So like I said, I'm not saying that pick was great. I think it's okay. I'm giving that pick a pass. But
it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah, but I'm saying what I really wanted to say was Najee Harris was the great pick though. So I don't think drafting a running back in round 1 is dumb. Drafting a running back top 4 is dumb. That's dumb. Fournette, Todd Gurley.
You might see that happen
great,
sooner.
But you had to pay him. Like, that's different. So drafting a run, where did Najee Harris go? 24 overall?
24, like 25, I think.
There's between 24 and 4. It's not even like, it's not even close. So, back to this question. So you think any of these, you think it's dumb if any team drafts one of these top 3 in the first round.
I think it would be unwise to do that, but at the same time, I could see it happening just because there is that psychological factor where you say, like, you walk out of the draft and you say, hey, you know what? In like a 32 team league, I got the best guy from this position. I got the best player at this position. That does mean something. But again, I would say it's probably, especially because I know with the other running backs in future years who are coming, and you did say that it's foolish to take a running back with a top 10, top 5 pick. You're going to see that happen in a few years. So just the level of talent that's coming up based on
there's exceptions to the rules, right?
That's true. There's exceptions.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be a really sexy running back.
That's true. But I wouldn't. I don't know.
So that's it. Or you want to? Should we leave this up? This is a cool thing.
Yeah, sure. Me personally, if I'm an executive in the National Football League, I'm probably gonna pass on these running backs with my round 1 pick. I think.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Look, I love the analytics people. I'm always a student of the game. I'm always learning. You see me, right? I'm the expert. I'm the host. I ask you guys a ton of questions, like all the time, like constantly. I'm always asking questions. But I like the analytics, and the analytics shows. The analytics guys, the nerds, the graph guys, that's just another tool. That's a tool to achieve my big goal. But I do like them, and they explain to me, why is it a day 3 running back? Day 2 running back. Round 3 is that magic spot for a running back.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, some of it is coincidence, but they explained it to me, and then, the day 3 suck because they usually end up on a bad team early, or if not, that's super late. I get that. That's why so guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, the storyline with analytics is they draw it from the analytics. These analytics guys who look at data and charts all day for Dynasty is when you running back you drafted. If you draft them too early, we already know why that's bad. You don't want to spend a lot of draft capital and money on an early running back. They're expendable. Their careers don't last long. Blah, blah. Everyone knows that. But round 3 is that sweet spot for the running back. We see Kareem Hunt, Alvin Kamara, a lot of good running backs, right? But they say that all day 3 running backs are evil. They all suck. So that's round 4 in the NFL draft and later. And they explained it to me, and I like it. Hey, I still drafted Michael Carter. See, I just use it as a tool. So it's not everything, but I do listen to it. I do learn from it, and I like some of the points. And it's a sweet spot. That's all it is, right? I can still hit the ball and get on base if I don't hit the sweet spot. But if you hit that sweet spot, a lot of times it's going to be, it could be a home run. That's all that is. Alvin Kamara, Kareem Hunt, round 3. It's a great sweet spot. It's awesome. And that's why I like, drafting running backs that day. But, sometimes they fall to round 4. I think Michael Carter deserved to get drafted earlier. And, I think it's pretty evident that Trey Sermon was drafted early. It's evident. And it's not like I didn't say that before, too. It's not like I'm saying it just now in hindsight. I was like, ooh, wow, they drafted Trey Sermon. Like, I know people like him, but to me, I felt like Michael Carter was better, like on film and other running backs too. And it just you didn't like Michael Carter because of his size.
Yeah, there were a lot of things I didn't like. I don't think
he looked great to me. He does
look good now.
Great. Hey, but no, I looked great in college.
It's all good.
I love what I saw on film. Little undersized though, and so I just thought, there's going to be carries.
Undersized and Javonte Williams, but can't be right all the time.
Hey, he looks like he does in college. Basically, he looks good.
He's
catching the passes.
I will say one thing. You were saying about the day 2 and the day 3 and whatever, the picks and how that's significant.
Hopefully that made sense. I don't know if that made sense because I kind of talk like assuming people know, but then I went back and explained it a little bit.
Yeah, well, so day 1 is round 1, day 2 is round 2 and 3, and those are the 2 days you want to focus on for fantasy football. And if we're looking at these 2022 running backs, the 5 names we covered today, Isaiah Spiller, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker, Kyren Williams, and Zac Charbonnet, I think there's a strong chance that these guys are all going to be at least day 2 picks, which is why you should be, having these names on your radar for your upcoming rookie draft next year.
So Dak says he doesn't see any of these running backs going round 1. Yeah, dude, come on. You see this one? Read that one right there.
I take that back. Dak's the only champ says I take that back. Bijan Robinson will go round 1 for sure. Yeah,
that's
Bijan
next.
Robinson
that's the next class. That's
2023.
That's a different class, first of all, Dak. And round 1.
Yes.
We need to no. We need to talk about how soon in round 1. We're talking round top 10.
Personally, I think he's gonna be like a top 7 or 8 pick. Floor, probably top 5. He's good, man. He's good.
That's the exception to the rule. Like if you figure, man, especially if you have all the pieces, and you just man, I would love to get like a Najee Harris. I would love to get a dope running back. That's like we have everything else. Then to me, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's not like because again, you kind of want to. There's a saying where like you build your team through the draft, and then you get the pieces you need in free agency. You don't want to necessarily build a team with a running back because they last so long, not so long, I should say, so short of a time. I mean, again, there's exceptions to the rule. Saquon Barkley, you can build around that guy. Najee Harris.
Well, honestly, they probably shouldn't have. Like he deserved to be drafted that early, I guess. But
for their team, though, I kind of agree with you.
They shouldn't have drafted him. Yeah, because Nick Chubb, right? Yeah. They should have. If they never had the O-line, it's a problem they haven't fixed for a decade. Oh and Eli Manning struggled a lot with that.
Every draft, trying to fix it. It's painful to watch.
Yeah, and you got to fix the O-line. Running back like Saquon does help the O-line, but it's the coaching. It's all 5 players from the O-line. It's the scheme. It's the quarterback. It's the receivers being quick and getting. It's a lot of things that help the O-line. And I've been preaching this. And you know what? I've been right about the Arizona Cardinals. Nobody's talking about coming up with excuses to me now. Their O-line sucks. And I heard that a lot. I mean, my YouTube was just full of that, but their O-line sucks. Why are you drafting Kyler Murray as a top 10? I was like, well, when you go from Josh Rosen to Kyler Murray and you go from, dude, I even forget the name of the coach, to Cliff Kingsbury.
Steve Keim, I think. Is it Steve Keim?
Oh, dude, I have no idea. But yeah, you change the coach drastically. You change the quarterback drastically. Yeah, that's it. Just that.
And
that changes everything.
Everything changed.
Yeah, and then all of it, and now you're starting to add players to that. Oh, now it's good. Oh, no, James Conner's a real running back all of a sudden too. Like a lot changes. Steelers, they get Najee Harris. All of a sudden, things start to change. Just week 2, it just started to change already.
That is true. One thing that won't change though, Josh Rosen throwing interceptions on Thursday Night Football. That won't change.
Oh, yeah, that's – oh, no. Saquon could – what I meant to say, like, Saquon could – I could see, like, how – I'm trying to be sympathetic to the GM. Like, he could see Saquon helping the O-line. Oh, no, yeah, it definitely did not. It didn't work. No. Nothing worked. They tried a few things. It's like the faucet's all leaking, and then you got like this guy, the infomercial with the guys like a bucket and a hose. He's got like this clear tape he's trying to put. It's like the water squirts right in his eye. Like he's just not fixing that.
It's a mess.
Najee Harris comes in. He's like, I got that Flex Seal.
Yeah,
there we go, baby. Yeah,
he's got the gorilla tape. Oh yeah.
Yeah. But then unfortunately, Mason Rudolph comes and it gets all undone again, and then we got to find a new infomercial. It's Mason Rudolph. Oh man, Steve Keim is the GM. Well, guys, we're never gonna know who the Cardinals
we'll never know who the coach
was.
For 1 year. We'll never know.
Yeah, I mean, I remember him, and then because I remember I had a hot DFS lineup with the Cardinals, and it's pretty close to winning $1 million.
Ooh.
And,
okay.
Josh Rosen came in.
Oh no!
Yeah, I had Larry Fitzgerald left, and I look at literally everyone's team. So I clicked about 400 times, and I'm like, I think I can beat everybody. I was like, they got nobody left. I was like, I got Fitzgerald. This is Larry Legend. Like I can do it. It's Larry Fitzgerald.
Oh,
no, Josh Rosen. No.
Painful, man.
Didn't win nothing. It went 15K, 20K, 100K, 10K. It just withered all the way down to like $400. It was terrible.
It's not bad, but still.
So, it is what it made me who I am today. Losses like that. I have other stories like that, but I mean, that was the last year of Josh Rosen. So, I mean, I've seen him. I've seen it, and I was telling you guys, and it is what it is. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. If you guys have any fantasy questions, we're going to be hanging around. Whatever you guys want, ask me anything. We'll talk about whatever. Let's see what comments we got here. Dak says my ears hurt. That's probably when I was getting emotional. Saquon was worth the pick. It was him or Sam Darnold, and Saquon way better. Yes. That's just a fact, right? I mean, it's not nothing you can argue with, right, Suchet?
Yeah, I mean, you could still. I mean, when you're comparing with just a quarterback, maybe Saquon to Darnold, yeah, but
they could have traded down. They could have traded down. Trading down would have been great. Yeah, that would have been the move. Yeah, just draft 7 linemen.
Exactly. I mean, that's it.
I mean, look, this doesn't work all the time. Like, I'm just saying, like, all I was saying was the O-line. It's not just one thing, right? It's not just drafting an O-line. It's not drafting one O-lineman or anything like that. It's a lot of things. It's a lot of factors, and that's kind of been the theme today. Yeah, there's a lot of factors that goes into. For the Patriots 1 year, it was just getting the O-line coach back from Von Miller murdering the entire team to all of a sudden now the O-line's decent again.
It's functional.
Just by getting the coach back. Yeah, just by getting the O-line coach back. There it is. Wait, Steve Wilkos. Now that sounds like the guy from Jerry Springer.
I think it is the guy from Jerry Springer, Steve Wilkos.
What do we do? And then they started chanting Steve instead of Jerry, Steve Wilkos. Yeah,
that's. Oh, it is Steve Wilkes. That's the name of the coach. Without the O, Steve.
Yeah,
Wilkes.
but then but they did say that. It's pretty funny. They got it's definitely the Jerry Springer guy. So he was like the security guard, and then he had his own spinoff. But then we got Steve Wilkes is. There we go.
There he is.
Steve Wilkes.
We found him.
We got him. Oh yeah, he's old, huh? Smells. He was so old. That's why he retired. Came back, then he retired again. He was at least in his mid to late 70s. I think it was 82, maybe even.
Yeah, Dante Scarnecchi says that would be the offensive line coach for the Patriots, who Bill Belichick infamously once said, "I would trust that man with my career," and he did trust him with his career.
Yeah,
he knows what he's doing. Dante Scarnecchi. I don't think he's there anymore though. But
no, he was old. He was like 80 years old.
Man, it's the old guys who know football the best somehow. I don't know what it is.
Scar 73. Well, I just added like 9 years to make a better podcast. Don't blame me. I'm trying to make an entertaining show here. Fishing says I traded Eli Mitchell, a late 2022 first and a late 2022 second, and got Saquon and mid 2023 third. I don't do well when they say a bunch of numbers. I'll let you take that. Thoughts?
You want me to go first?
Yeah, no, you go. You just go.
Okay, sure. So I'm right away just going to delete from my mind the late 2022 second and the mid 2022 third. Those are both around the same tier of players. You're not going to. You may be lucky and you strike gold on finding this year's James Robinson, but otherwise you're kind of hoping that this late second or the mid third becomes something. So basically, that makes this trade Elijah Mitchell and a late 2022 first for Saquon Barkley. I think I'm digging the Saquon side of this by a ton. Because again, it's a 2022 first round pick. It's late. So you're for sure not going to be getting one of those top 3 running backs who are more surefire as assets. You're going to be getting a wide receiver who's going to be okay. But there's a lot of wide receivers in the league who are already good right now. So I'm really digging the Saquon side of this trade.
All right, I'll trust you. Saquon's 24. He's been banged up a lot, but he is Saquon Barkley, and we don't know what's going to happen to Eli Mitchell's future. And Saquon's definitely better now.
See, that's the problem with these guys that you find in the third round, right? You're finding James Robinson, and he has a great season, and you're thinking to yourself, "Oh man, I got it on lock. My running back 2 or whatever position, I can check the box off there." But now you see the very next year they draft Travis Etienne. Now what do you do? It's the same thing with Elijah Mitchell because the draft capital is not there. If they're a day 1 or a day 2 pick, again, this is going back to what the analytics are saying. Those guys have a for sure opportunity to take control of the entire backfield. Now, Trey Sermon, he got the opportunity to do anything with it and got scrapped immediately.
Well, he's a bust. He's not even in this. He's not in this,
right.
storyline you're saying.
Right. So Elijah Mitchell is basically like he's basically last year's James Robinson, right? He's a 6th round draft pick. So there's room for improvement just based on talent level that's available. Now, obviously, Austin Eckler, he's late round pick. I think he was even undrafted, and he's thriving. So it can happen. But I'm not going to bank on that with Elijah Mitchell. I will bank on that with Saquon Barkley.
Gotcha. Yeah, I honestly wouldn't know how to answer that because I'm such a huge Eli Mitchell fan, but it is a little uncertain. Just like James Robinson, just really not anywhere as hot as he was last year. Even with Etienne's injury, it's just really not as hot. This storyline is more depressing. Last year, it was intense. I mean, you were high for like 17 weeks. You were on one. You loved it.
You were flying there.
You rode that James Robinson train all the way to the bank. And now this year it's like, oh man, this is terrible. This train's malfunctioning. It just keeps starting and stopping. It's so slow. It smells. It's weird. All right, I'll go with what you say. Score 73. Man, I don't like that trade, Fishing. So we got Dak is not a fan of it. Maybe he's on the Eli Mitchell hype. I'm all the way on the Eli Mitchell hype train, but I mean,
I could be wrong. Maybe Eli Mitchell could be the next Eckler, and then you should have kept Elijah Mitchell. But for now, I'm gonna operate based on what the draft capital is telling me. He's a 6th round pick.
What you're saying is you don't care too much about the picks. The picks are disguises. They're disguise, right? You're like, I'm not falling for these disguises, these traps. I'm saying Eli Mitchell for Saquon, and the picks, you're saying that's not insanely a big deal. So you're saying Eli for Saquon. You're like, I have to take Saquon over Eli.
Yeah, exactly.
I got that. I mean,
definitely.
I got what that, that's kind of what you said. You trim the bushes, now you're seeing like this is the actual lawn. Like this is the big picture here. Let's trim away these scrubs, these little branches over here. And man, I'll do that a lot. Dynasty, it's way tougher though. That was a lot of numbers. This involves 3 draft picks and 2 big time players. So that's a lot. And when I do like assess redraft trades, I'm like, this guy means nothing in this trade, like 0. Actually, I'm like, it's bad because you have to drop a player for this guy. Like, it means nothing when you're talking about 2 blockbuster type players, and then they throw in like and a Marvin Jones. I'm like, no, Marvin Jones is nothing. Like, you could drop Marvin Jones. Like, it doesn't matter.
Right. I mean, that's what you should do when you're, especially in Dynasty, when you're evaluating trades. Just cut out all the noise. Just basically trim all that fat off, and then just figure out what the actual meat and potatoes of the deal is and assess that trade.
So Fishing said some very good stuff. I'm not going to read that though. Like, no, you're making some good points. I just want to let Fishing know that he's making some good points, but I do want you to address this. Dak says, what wide receiver would Fishing get with that late 2022 first rounder?
Jahan Dotson, big play receiver. Possibly Jameson Williams, though I think he's rising a little bit. He's from Alabama. I think that with a late 2022 first, you're going to miss out on the top 3 running backs, who in my opinion are the safer plays, and you're also going to miss out on the top, let's call it the tier 1 of wide receivers. And after that, I mean, that's
tier 2 wide receiver.
So yeah, it's gonna be like a tier 2 wide receiver, and that's not that.
Or you can reach for you get the fourth best running back possibly.
I don't know if you want to get a quarterback with your first round pick, unless you really have a good feeling about someone.
I got you. You're just not loving you're just not valuing the picks that much. That's all. I got you.
And in terms of his actual question, I think he said which wide receivers. You're going to be looking at the tier 2 wide receivers. All of them, I think the best tier 2 wide receiver is probably less than Rashad Bateman, just for a comparison of last year.
Well, that's where Rashad Bateman was going, though. Essentially, was going like 10th overall, 12th overall, right? In rookie drafts.
Yeah. Well, Rashad Bateman in your actual NFL draft, he was going like what, like round 9, round 10, in that range, like after guys like Chase Claypool.
Startup?
In like a startup.
Oh no, startup dynasty.
Yeah.
I don't know where people. It's probably went all over the place. I never did. I didn't. I did do a startup last year. I don't. Yeah, probably. Yeah, probably. Yeah. So, round 9. Yeah, I think that's pretty accurate.
Round 9, round 10 in that range.
Yeah.
Personally, I would pick Terrace Marshall ahead of. If you could flip that 2022 first for Terrace Marshall and something like maybe like a 2023 second, for example, which I think is the second round that actually is going to have some value, I think I would love that, because you're not selling low on your own pick. You're somewhat buying low on Terrace Marshall.
Me. Well, what did you say? You 20.
If you were to trade this late 2022 first, which is presumably going to be a tier 2 wide receiver, and you were to get a guy like Terrace Marshall or Rashad Bateman or Rondale Moore, I would be all for it, because I think you're just getting a better receiver instead of what is going to be what your 2022 first round pick would be. Let's say you don't trade it and you use it, not going to be as good of a receiver, I think, which just tells you how good the 2021 receiver class was compared to what the 2022 is. I mean, there's definitely depth. There's definitely, if you hold on to that 2022 late first and you get a receiver, you're probably going to get an okay player, just not that great.
Do we have any last thoughts? Susha, anything you want to add?
I think that's about it. I like this last comment here by Smooth, Pat's D. It's fun to watch.
Pat's D has scored 2 touchdowns and given up 1 touchdown in its last 31 defensive series. That's pretty good. How many series in a game? Like 7 for a defense? 11?
4 or 5. Yeah, about 6 to 7 in that range. That's what was really interesting about the Patriots defense today? This is not really fantasy related at all, but they were playing a ton of zone defense, almost like 70% zone leading up to this game. And then they completely shut down Kyle Pitts with man coverage. Pretty zigging while they zag and avoiding tendencies.
They had the personnel also to do it. And so they did. God, the Falcons just.
Oh, man.
When I saw them get 3 yards on a play, I was like, that was a miracle. I was
They're having trouble, man.
God.
They're having real offensive
Well, they have
trouble.
no firepower. I mean, they found something in Cordell Patterson and he's out. And then you lose Julio and Calvin Ridley at the same time. And it's like, oh, man. I mean, just think about if you said that last year. Okay, guys, you're going to lose all your running backs. I mean, even though you can't run anyway. And you're going to lose your 2 star wide receivers. This jerseys everyone's buying. Yeah, they're going to be gone too.
And your offensive line is still going to be terrible.
The offensive line does the opposite of blocking, whatever that is. Negative. PFF's like, you're going to have to give them negative great. It broke our system. That's what PFF said, that JJ Watt broke their system essentially, and then Aaron Donald came out and he's like, okay, now Aaron Donald broke it again. So the Falcons O-line is breaking their system. They're like, oh man, it registers as a negative grade. Like, I don't know what to do. There's no F underscore like Couch has.
There you go.
Yeah, there's no F underscore. We don't know what to do. You got to give him a -2. That doesn't work. That doesn't even fit in the spreadsheet.
That's bad. Oh my god, they gotta work that. J.C. Jackson is a better cornerback than Trevon Diggs.
Oh, okay. So now a Pats fan and Cowboys fan is fighting.
We're
gonna end it there. That was a great podcast. I don't think you killed it. You may have killed it in a good way.
I hope so, man.
I think it was good. We had Mike back for a little bit. I enjoyed this podcast a lot. This was great. This segment, this format worked a lot better. I understood everything you said. Next time you hop on, and we'll be doing this throughout, the off season and stuff. That's when we'll really dig in.
Yeah.
But next time we'll do what? Wide receivers, quarterbacks. We'll do one of those.
One of the two. Doesn't matter. We can play it by ear. See what's going on.
There we go. Oh, somebody liked it. There we go.
Zach,
someone liked it. All right, guys, this podcast is available everywhere that there is podcasts: Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, the whole shebang. Make sure you subscribe to us. We have 2 YouTube channels: Fantasy Couch Podcast. Follow me. I know I'm giving you guys a lot to do, but just follow me everywhere. Fantasy Couch. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Sue Shane. Let's go get that W, guys. Peace out.